Hello, and welcome to our overview of the powerful grids in Insights into Data. The following video will take you through some of the basic features of the grid and how you might launch other features from it. The first thing we need to do is import some data into a grid. We will do that by running a SQL query against the SQLite database that ships with the program. To do this, we will select the query and click the Run button in the ribbon bar at the top of the screen. When you run a query, you will see a small window appear that will be there while the query is running and will disappear as soon as the data has been imported.
Here you can see the data is now loaded into the grid. Let's take a look at a few of its features. In the lower left-hand corner of the grid, you will see two tabs. The first is the one we are currently looking at, and it provides a standard row and column view. The second tab shows an auto-generated column view of the current row. This allows the user to see more of that row in detail, and more importantly, provides the ability to easily view multi-line text fields that typical grid views cannot. On the lower right-hand side of the grid, you will notice four pieces of information. The first is the number of records in the grid. The second is the number of columns in the grid. The third shows the number of filtered records showing. The fourth shows the number of selected records. The next set of features we will look at are sorting, filtering, and searching. Sorting is very easy. Simply click on the column header, and it will automatically sort the records in the grid by that column. You can sort by multiple columns by holding down the Shift key while clicking. The next feature shows how you can filter what rows show in the grid by clicking the little filter icon in the upper right side of the column headers. On the screen, you can see we are able to filter on the city column by selecting from the list of possible values. You are also able to filter what is shown in the grid by entering values in the filter row, which is directly below the headers. You can enter partial values, and the rows will automatically be filtered to records that contain those strings, dates, or numbers. The ability to search the grid in Insights is amazing. It allows you to search every column and every row to match a string. Insights will then filter out all rows that do not match your search string in at least one column. It will also highlight in yellow every column and every row where it found the text as shown for our text Fran. Now let's clear the search results and reload the grid. A very powerful feature of the Insights grid is the ability to create groupings in the grid. They are very easy to create. Simply drag and drop a column to the bar at the top of the grid. Here you can see that the grid has auto-grouped all the records by city. You can create subgroupings by adding more columns to the group box, which we will now do with the shipper name field. Once you have set up your groupings, you will see a footer bar at the bottom of each group. You can right-click on this bar and choose an option for each column. You can count the number of rows in each group or sum, min, max, or average a numeric field. You can still see all the detail records by click on the little arrow at the left of each grouping header. Okay, now let's set everything back to the way it was. If you right-click on a column header, you will see the column header pop-up menu. This menu will allow you to sort by the selected column, group by, hide, etc. Near the bottom of the menu is an entry for conditional formatting. This allows you to color and highlight rows based on cell values. Now we will highlight in red all the records where the city name is Portland. This allows you to focus on the highlighted rows while keeping the context of the other rows around them. There are times when you do not want to just filter out records, but focus on the ones you are most interested in, while still being able to see the others. Now, let's clear the highlighting rules. The next feature is very useful when you are scrolling right and left. It allows you to make a column a fixed column that will not move while scrolling the grid right and left. Once again, it is all about keeping context while scrolling through the data. Now let's clear this fixed column and put it back in its place. If you right-click on a data cell, you will see the Data Cell pop-up menu. It allows you to copy cell and row values, adjust column width, and activate a number of other grid features. In the ribbon bar at the top of the grid, you have a number of features you can activate. The first is reporting. You can use the Report Designer to build enterprise-level reports. The second is dashboards. You can build fully interactive dashboards using the designer that will allow you to explore your data visually. The third is the spreadsheet feature. This is a fully Excel-compatible spreadsheet that when you export to it, it keeps all the formatting of the grids currently have. This includes grouping, sorting, filtering, row highlighting, etc. The fourth feature is the ability to push the data into the pivot grid. With one click, you are able to use a pivot grid and all its features. The fifth feature is a series of buttons that allow you to export your data to a wide variety of formats. This can be very useful in making your data more consumable by other applications. The sixth feature is the ability to save and load the formatting you have set up currently in the grid. This is a great feature when you want to share your queries, or just come right back to what you had set up the last time you were looking at this data. The final feature we will cover is that of the grid charting. It is one thing to view the data in the grid, but as the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. When you click on the Show Grid Chart button, it will display the charting feature on the right-hand side of the grid. In the simplest setup, you can choose a numeric value for the value column and another column for the argument column. Then click Update button, and you will see a chart created from the selected records of the grid. In the example being shown, we have created a simple bar chart that shows quantity by city. Currently, you see one bar in the chart, as only one record is selected. As you select more or different records in the grid, the chart to the right is automatically updated. We will now select all records in the grid to show you what the full chart would look like and how quickly InSights can visualize your data. The chart is highly customizable. For example, you can easily change it to a pie chart or other format and back again to a bar chart. When you are done with your charting needs, you can clear the chart and hide it from view. We want to thank you for taking the time to watch our video on InSights into Data's Powerful Grids.